Welcome to Burning Spears. My name's Nick Perfect, and today we're going to do a direct picanha.
Well, Nick, thanks for joining me today. Always a pleasure to cook with you, and I'm really looking forward to this, mate. I've been looking forward to seeing what your method is for the direct picanha, because I cook it completely different.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really educational. Can't wait to see it. So we'll talk a little bit about the picanha, and Nick's basically going to take over the channel and cook for me today, which is really cool. So I can take it easy and drink a little bit more than I normally do. So yeah, thanks again, Nick.
Welcome.
So the picanha, the rump cap in the US they call it the sirloin cap. It is a favorite of mine. What do you think about the picanha? So let's compare it to a ribeye.
Totally different steak, really. It's probably my second favorite steak after the ribeye. Different method of cooking. Different way of slicing it, different flavor completely. It's just a whole other flavor experience. Something I thoroughly enjoy, and it's something that I'm learning a lot more on how to do. There's so many techniques to the picanha, and obviously different picanhas from different regions require different types of cooking. But today we have a beautiful thick fat picanha. It's quite small, at about 1.6 kilos, but the marbling is excellent. It's a very high quality piece of steak. And today's style, we're just going to be doing a direct picanha at 150 degrees Celsius with nothing more than a salt and pepper mix, no binder, just the moisture that comes naturally from the meat. So what we've done here is we've taken the Kamado up past 150, we've locked it down, we're going to slowly bring it back down to 150 degrees, at which point we're going to hold it, and then we're just going to put the steak on and tend to it every 10 to 15 minutes until we reach that magic internal temperature. Excellent, yeah, really interesting. So I would normally cook it indirect up until an internal of like 40 degrees, and then reverse sear it. That's my typical one, if I'm doing it on the Kamado jug. But like Nick says, there's many ways to skin a picanha. So we will. I'm just going to deep dive into how this meat looks quickly, and then we're probably going to start fairly shortly. So yeah, cheers, Nick. Thanks again. You're welcome,
and looking forward to tasting this, mate. Right. So when you're buying a picanha, you want a nice thick fat cap. In my books, that is why I eat this, because of the fat and then the rump taste, of course. This is a Black Angus, Australian. Great marbling. I'm very honoured to have this today, and you can see that marbling. It's not common to get a lot of marbling in the rump muscles, so really real happy with this. 1.5 kilos, 1.6 kilos, and you can see the grains running like that. Nick will get into the grain, but this is going to be absolutely insane. Okay, so we're back now, ready to start seasoning. What we have is just some basic kosher salts and some freshly ground pepper. So what I like to do, rather than having the salt and pepper layers, is quite simply just adding a little bit of them two together. So probably do a 50-50 mix. Don't be shy. Yeah. And then you can just give that a mix around, use your finger, shake it about, whatever you like. And this way you don't get your salt first, pepper second layers, or vice versa. They both go on at the same time and create the same sort of crust. And then quite heavy. Press it in. And flip. We'll do this on both sides. Okay, so the picanha's been seasoned. It's been resting approximately 25 minutes on the side. That's allowed the salt to sort of penetrate the exterior parts of the meat and start bringing some of the moisture onto the surface, which is going to help us build up a really lovely crust.
With the Kamado sitting at exactly 150 degrees, we're going to place the picanha fat side down and rotating approximately every 15 minutes. So let's get this process started. As we can see, there's no dividing conquer plates in here. It's a direct bed of coals. The entire bed of coals is lit, but it's basically just sort of sipping away at the air with the grid ever so slightly open. There we have it. Nice little sizzle. Get all the sides pressing down. Get that initial sear. And there we have it. We're going to start a timer now for 15 minutes. And the next time you see this, we'll be turning it. Okay, so 15 minutes has passed. We're still sitting at around exactly 150. Let's open it up. Little burp. That's the Glow Baltic birchwood charcoal, smoking like an absolute good one. Let's have a little look at this, see what we're dealing with. That's taking on some really nice colour, very slowly, just what we wanted. Absolutely beautiful. Let's turn that around now. Meat side down. We're going to reset the timer for another 15 minutes. We'll see you then. Okay, another 15 minutes has gone by, still sitting idle at 150. Let's have a look. Looks pretty good, taking on some really nice colour. You can see the smoke really taking its effect on the steak. Let's have a look. That looks great. So, back to the fat cap. Now something we need to bear in mind is because the fat cap's so thick on this, we're probably going to want to keep it on the fat for a little bit longer than the meat side, just to avoid a sort of imbalance in colour. But we'll see how that looks when we cut it. So another 15 minutes on the timer, and then we'll see what this looks like. Okay, so another 15 minutes has gone by, or just about, and as we can see, 55 minutes has gone past in total. We've got a current internal temperature of about 41 degrees. And if we have a look at that, that's basically what we've been dealing with so far. So we're going to open it up and have another look. Currently it's fat side down. With only a few minutes left to go, we'll make our minds up and see if we turn it or if we leave it on the fat for the last few minutes. That looks pretty good. That fat's taken on some really nice colour. It's golden brown. Beautiful. And let's turn it over. Get a bit more colour on that meat side. Okay, so just a few more minutes have passed. The internal temperature of this picanha is now at about 48 degrees Celsius. You can see the fat's really dripping down there with the lid open. It just catches fire almost instantly. That fat cap is rendered down beautifully. I mean, that's gorgeous. So we're going to take this now, place it on our little drip tray, and get ready to wrap this. Right, now that we've got the steak out, we're going to give it a wrap, firstly with the paper, then with some foil, and then into a cooler box. Okay, so now that we've transferred the picanha from the braai onto the resting table, we're just going to wrap it up, but first we're going to remove the probe. Doesn't need to be a tight wrap at all, because this is going to go and sit inside a cooler box for about 2 hours. There we go. So sealed on all sides, but not held tight, just like that, and into the cooler. There we go. If you haven't got the world's best cooler box, you can always add a few towels in here just to give it a little bit more insulation. But the time is now 12 o'clock. We'll be eating this at approximately 2 o'clock. So 2 hours time, here we go. Picanha's rested for approximately 2 hours at this point, which means it's time to open it up. So there we have it. We try and keep as much of that juice as possible, so if we want to make a gravy or something after this, we could. Okay, so now that the picanha's on the board, fat cap facing up, we're going to turn it over, we're going to have a look at which way the grain's running, and then we're going to start slicing into some steaks. So if we just gently pull the meat apart, if you can't see quite clearly, if you pull the meat apart, you should be able to see sort of a bit of an air gap there. That tells me that the grain's probably most likely running in that direction there. Look at that. So in a previous video, Richard and I debunked the myth behind which way to cut the steaks. So on that video, we decided steaks need to be cut against the grain, which is that way. So I'm going to cut just one steak from this, and it's going to be right from the middle. And we're going to slice that up. And that right there is what we're dealing with. It looks pretty good to me. So this shot here is a really great example as to how we can get a disproportionate banding on the meat. You can see how the pink ends about there. However, it travels all the way up to the bottom of the fat cap. Now, this is probably down to a slight bit of error on my behalf. It probably would have deserved a little bit longer on the fat cap than on the meat side. So for instance, this is cooked for over an hour. Next time I'll probably end up cooking that for less than half of the cooking time. And I would cook the fat cap for probably about 3/4 of the total cooking time. But we're gonna cut this up, slice it, season it, and taste it. These are some really, really thick bits of meat. Bit of seasoning. That's salt and pepper. All right, here we have it. So this has been the Picanha direct at 150. Took us about an hour and 15 minutes in total.
Yeah.
We rested it from 48 degrees internal for 2 hours. And that took us up to an internal of about 52 degrees. I was hoping for less juices to be departing from the meat. I was hoping for that long rest to really retain a lot of it. But it's not as much as I'd like, but the proof is in the pudding. So let's try it. So
just listening to you talk about the color and the beef rainbow, I call it. That's an amazingly thick fat cap.
That is really thick.
And that fat cap would have just really protected it. So that's what I think that was. That fat cap, beautiful for steaks. Probably trim a little bit off for this application, I think, maybe. Because it's hard to get the fat cap.
It is, but we'll know once we've tried it.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's try. All right, let's try and pull it apart first. It's pretty tender.
Cool. It's all about the bite, though.
Oh, yeah.
Straight away. Bang, beef.
Yeah, that's it. And that's really the difference between a steak resting for 5 to 10 minutes or a whole picanha resting for 2 hours. It effectively turns into like steak butter, which is one of our favorite things.
Everyone loves a bit of steak butter.
Let's try that fat.
The fat is just amazing.
Yeah, good.
Right up my alley.
That's good, that.
Delicious. That's insane. So a bit of pull there, but once you're biting it, it's as tender as anything.
Agreed.
And the grayer parts, they aren't dry at all. It's weird because of the amount of juice, I thought that would have been a sort of indirect, low and slow cook, so that all those juices were sitting. But at 150 direct, still managed to get so much juice in there. I'm over the moon with this.
Yeah. And the nice thing about the direct is just that additional bit of bark that you get that you wouldn't get from an indirect cook. And part of the reason why I love eating steak off the grill is that crust and that Maillard reaction and that texture. So for me, this is a win. It's my favorite way to cook a picanha. But next, I would like to do a sous vide.
Definitely. Yeah, sous vide is a good process for a lot of things.
Cheers, Richard.
But thank you, and thank you for showing me that. I found that really, really interesting and insightful. And I'm certainly going to give that a bash on my own sometime. That is amazing. And lovely. Shall we carve this up and get it in our bellies?
Let's continue.
Yeah. Perfect. That fat's amazing. Anyway, you lot, bugger off. Thanks, Nick. That's it.